Racing on Thursday takes place out at the Vaal, where we've got 8 races on the program. Race number 1 set to get underway at 12:40. It is a maiden handicap for fillies and mares over the 1200 meter trip that will get the day started. Joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. And Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good day, Rahil. Found us on Heritage Day, so all good, all well. Quiet morning. Looking forward to the weekend, the first of the features in Cape Town coming up this weekend, and then a week later we got the Betway Spring Challenge and Betway Fillies and Mares Spring Challenge. So, yeah, all good. This is when racing really kicks off for the season. I know 1st of August is the day that everything goes back to zero, but some big names will start filtering out. Sadly, no big names at the Vaal on Thursday. The place accumulator being the order of the day. I find it a very trappy card. Only one race around the turn, take note of that. That'll be race 6. The rest will be down the straight. And just also bear in mind the false rail configuration, Rahil. The way that it's set out, the outside rail being put in 12 meters would ordinarily lead you towards low number draws down the straight. Let's see if it goes according to plan, because to be fair, the last few meetings, the Vaal has been playing fair with the draws. Seems like you can win from just about anywhere. But maybe just have a little persuasion for those low number draws. Very trappy card, so hopefully it goes well.
The first race on the program, Raceway, is a 22-10 favourite. Serena Moodley in town for Fani Broncos. 28-10, number 3, Pooty. That opened up at 7-2, has shortened. It is 4-1 Codeword, 5-1 Delaware River, and then it is 10-1 and Better Ball. Those now, I want to start with Delaware River, who's the 5-1 shot, because she was rather disappointing last time out when going down at 9-10 in the market, well beaten behind Salt Lake City. That horse, Zara Dominia, did come through to win from that piece of form. What do you make of her claims here?
I don't think anything's without a chance, Rahil. I think that this maiden handicap, the word handicap tells you everything you need to know about the race. It is shallow, and it won't take much winning, and there are a few question marks distance-wise next to a few horses. I actually make Delaware River a chance, not my first choice, but I do think she's got a winning chance. What we need to remember is last time when she was 9-10 favourite, that was when Stuart Pettigrew's yard was just flat, quiet. There was no laugh whatsoever. And although disappointing coming out of a Royal Kailani form at Hollywoodbets Greyville on World Sports Betting KZN Guineas Day, that form line is a lot fairer than a lot of other form lines in the race. Pilasanda and Quali takes her out, barely weighted off 58, high number draw. We'll have to see how that's going to play out. I'd rather judge Delaware River on the form that she brought in before rather than the form of being a 9-10 favourite. She's got to be a chance. Comes off a mini break. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I'm sure she's been kept up to speed back at home. The number 5 Delaware River has to be a chance. Then we've got 3 horses who do make appeal. In fact, 4 horses who do make appeal. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I wouldn't make all of those winning chances, but they will have some sort of persuasion towards punters. But this is why I'm a bit iffy about them. Codeword over 1,200 meters. I mean, she turned the corner going 18 and 1,600 meters. Now she goes back to sprints, but she's got Girish Samobertia on board, who turned up at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, the Rhoda winner. And also, Codeword's done that job with very light weight on her back. I think this is a reset for number. It looks like a reset for number 1, Codeword, so it should be one that I'm sidestepping. Then we got number 2, Raceway, who's evidently better over 1,000 meters than any other distance. Her 2 misses, her 2 bad misses, her wild misses have come over anything further than 1,000 meters. She might be the one that gets away with it, with a question mark over the trip to her name because of the way that she ran on last time. I wouldn't be sure to have a bet on number 2, Raceway, but she might get away with it. And then number 3, Pooty, who would be my top choice. There has been support. Fit horse, ran a week ago, finished 3rd to Willow Lady. Surely that's got to set her up. That was her first run for the yard, and she showed the necessary improvement. Not that all of her runs in Durban were bad. She just seems to be inconsistent. But maybe now that she's in the swing of things, she could be a chance. Other also want to mention number 4, Safara's Princess. She should have won her penultimate start when Tapiso Matsuela, I think, put up 3 kilos. Overweight to number 4, Tavares Princess, but she'd be a bit of a question mark whether she can step up to this type of maiden handicap level. So in order of preference, I'm going 3, 2, and 5 as the horses that I think the winner will come from.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 5 in numerical order there, but number 3, Pooty, could well be the right horse here on quick backup. Moving along to race number 2, maiden handicap over 1,200 meters, and here, number 7, Underdog, tops the boards at 18-10. Ubermensch, number 1, is at 2-1. Stormburst, 3-1. Trip to State, 5-1. 7-1 in the Willows. And then you've got number 6, Nepal Kashmir, at 25-1. Number 4, Lanny Boy, is a scratch-in. So it's a field of 6 runners that remain for this contest. And Alistair, this is another race that's not going to take a lot of winning.
Yeah, this is not a pretty race at all, Raheel. I think you're going to keep it short and sweet. PA is my suggested bet. I've only got 2 horses. I don't know if I need both, but I am going to row in with 2 because I just don't trust the race. Top choice number 7, Underdog. Also wildly bad maiden that he ran in last time, finishing second behind King Bluetooth, but it was necessary improvement at maiden handicap level. Carries even less weight thanks to a 3 kilo claim from Garish Samobertia. Surely he's going to confirm that, because I said that was a wildly weak maiden last time. This is also a wildly weak maiden handicap. So 7 Underdog, my top choice to I hesitate to say it's improvement. I just think that he found a weak field that he was able to get into the hunt, and this just a weak field where he ought to be in the hunt again. And then number 1, Ubermensch, despite having top weight, very keen to see how the trust form line will work out for obvious reasons. What you see is what you get with Ubermensch. I reckon that he is going to win a race eventually. This is his best chance of getting the job done. I'd also venture to say he would have needed his last run slightly, coming back from a 4-month layoff, and he'll be better off for the run. I can't see him missing the top 3. 7 from 1, I just can't make any motivation for anything else in the race. Stormburst is held by Underdog in that run to King Bluetooth, so I think that paints him into a bit of a corner, and Trip to States are just well and truly exposed.
Moving on to race number 3 next up. This will be the start of the pick 6. 13:50 is the off time. Fillies and Mares, maiden play, 1600 meters is the distance, and you can scratch number 1, Inkwenkwezi. Your favorite here is number 11, Sword of Light, trading at 12-10. Universal Girl, 5-2. Number 5, Amaze Me, 9-2. Madame Pompadour at 11-2. It's in 16-1 and better for those. Alistair, looking at the third race on the program, what's your take here? Sword of Light, the right horse in the race, stepping up in trip?
Yeah, undoubtedly, Raheel. A little concerned about the drift about her debut from 9-2 to 10-1. So obviously expectations were played down, but she ran a lovely race, finishing 3rd behind Winston's Wonder, staying on quite nicely from hitting what looked like a bit of a flat spot. I really don't want to pigeonhole the man as being a Vaal trainer, because he's a trainer for all corners of the country, but his horses do grow an extra leg at the Vaal. That's Lucky Hudalakas. Again, another good day at the Vaal just a week ago. You can't get the man out of the place. Craig Zaki takes it right. He started the season with a bang, although it's very early and no point talking about it. He's got Richard Ferree really alongside him, so I think we could be set for a big season as far as the jockeys are concerned, and I hope that both of them are able to keep pace with one another, because Richard obviously started the season pretty quietly with a holiday, a self-imposed holiday rather than a forced holiday, and PE's really been good to Richard, and now that I think he's starting to spread his wings a little bit, I know he's going to Joburg soon. I think we're going to be set for a very good season between the two. Anyway, we digress. Number 11, Sword of Light, easily brings the best form, likely to improve from the first run, steps up to a mile down the straight. Not easy, but I think she's found the right field to at least be in the top 3, so she is a PA banker. Obvious danger, number 5, Amaze Me. She's got the numbers to recommend. Muzieni on board for St. John Gray. No reason why number 5, Amaze Me, can't get into the hunt, especially with some runs to the like of Saragossa Cat. I think that's probably her career best, so you've got to be respected in a field of this nature. And I expect good improvement from number 4, Universal Girl. Hesitate to say that she's got a winning chance at her second start. She's got a lot of improvement to make, but there will be improvement to come. She goes from 1200 to a mile. I think the further she goes, the better she'll be. If she was beaten 10 lengths on debut, I'd expect that to just about half. And I think being beaten sort of 4 or 5 lengths by whoever wins the race could be more than good enough and sufficient to run to the top 3 or 4.
That's race number 3. Moving on to race number 4, maiden plate of the 1600 meter trip, and your favorite is number 8, even money favorite here. Number 13, Amazon Queen at 5-2. Number 2, 7th Fleet at 9-2, and then you can get 12-1 and better about the balance. Now, this horse, Alistair, there was lots of talk for him on debut, and there was a few whispers that he was the right horse in the race when beaten by Palace Attack, and Palace Attack subsequently came out to run a cracking second behind his stable companion Echo Check last week, and at even money, is would you say he's the horse that should take some beating here?
Yeah, I think he is. I don't think this is a totally dead field. It's more than half the field that say really need to improve. But there are a couple here that make some appeal, Raheel. But I'll be surprised if number 8, Bolero doesn't make the top 3. And when I'm just looking at the dangers, I think the improvement that they've got to make, I'd say that he's a pick 6 banker, especially with draw 1, and if the first... Well, you're not going to have any clue as far as pick 6s are concerned for race 3, but the first 2 races, the low number draws seem to be pretty prominent. As you mentioned, Palace Attack went very close to a horse that I know that the Habibs rate very highly in the form of Echo Check just a week ago. Palace Attack went very, very close, so that form line's got to be worth the paper that it's written on. With regard to Bellerophon, you mentioned the fact that there was a lot of noise about him on debut. There was, but he just seemed to get lost down the straight. He ran in and amongst horses and showed signs of greenness. So if he just rubs dusts those cobwebs off, then this horse has got to take all the beating in the world, just considering the expectations and the talk that there was on debut. You can always forgive a horse for a run like that on debut, considering how green he was, and he should step forward and take all the beating. Just those other horses that make me prick my ears a little bit, Raheel, they are down the bottom of the page. Number 12, Vaal Summit. I think he's got a ton to come. Whether he can go from 9.5 lengths and look at a horse that's been beaten 3 lengths, I don't know whether he's going to have the game second start to really trouble number 8, Bellerophon, but expect big improvement from this horse. I know it was a very small field, and I know that there was a huge margin between first to last, but St. John Great doesn't set up his horses first time, so expect big improvement with Sereno on board. I reckon that he's probably going to run second or third, could be the swinger horse to go in with the favourite. And then number 13, Amazon Queen, also could be a horse that's on the right track. Don't know how the special star form is going to work out, but it was significant improvement out of a Galileo mare, so the further the better, and the more she races the better. So she could at least confirm that and get into the money. But I've talked myself into really liking number 8, Bellerophon, on all bets. I think that he's a banker.
Yeah, even money is a price about this son of First and Getrix. Let's see if you can get it right at start number 2. Race number 5, it's an MR68 handicap of the 1600 meter trip. 3 p.m. is the off time. Number 1, Dylan's Champ, the top one at 3-1, 33-10 Sheets and Goggles. Number 4, Matsuyazo at 33-10. Gamer is at 9-2. Shots by Story 5-1, 7-1, and better about the balance. Now, Dylan's Champ, he ran a cracker last time out to a horse that was just battling in the maidens, but has just turned the corner ever since he won his maiden, Chieftain Shield. 4 kgs off the back, Alistair, that would certainly make him a major contender for top honours, especially given that he drops in class on his last effort.
I think the first point of reference here is in the pick 6. I've given you 2 potential bankers in the first 2 legs. This is a field race. This is not pretty at all. My PA numbers read 1, 2, and 6, but I'm horribly uncomfortable that I've left out Sheets and Goggles, who's unbeaten over this trip and unbeaten over this course and distance. Wherever she is, Matiyatso ought to be right there. Hopscotch has got scope to improve. Oklahoma Twister can get into the mix because you've got the right type of profile for this type of low-grade handicap. I don't like King Bluetooth, I must be honest, but if we've gone that far, I'm not going to leave him out of the pick 6. So 1, 2, and 6 here's why. You mentioned Dylan's Trap. The 4 kilo claim's got to be worth something. 59 on the back. Good run last time behind Chieftain Shield. Went down to Hollywoodbets Greyville. Absolutely hated whether it was the poly, whether it was the lights, whether it was the turn. I don't know, but he hated every moment of it. And if you draw a line through that run, he's actually got some pretty useful, consistent form. So there's every chance for number 1, Dylan's Trap, the full brother of William Robertson, to give a good account of himself. Might be stretching a little bit over 1600 meters. I think he's just a stride better over a bit shorter, but the odds in form, riders in form, big winning chance. Number 2, Spy Story, and 6, Gamer, the stable companions. I must confess, I'm actually leaning towards number 6, Gamer, between the 2, but it's not to say number 2, Spy Story, can't win. I think that Gamer's worked himself into form. Serena Mudley takes her out, and I think the fact he's got 3 kilos to work with the stable companion, and they're both pretty much cut from the same cloth. Long-time tries with just 1 win on the CV, and that the slight weight turnaround, the consistency the game has been showing, could just get him across the line ahead of a stable companion. Very, very complex race, this Raheel. I wouldn't want to have too much of a strong opinion for punters, but in the PA, I'm happy with 1, 2, and 6, hoping that we can flick a double up somewhere in this race.
Type of race where we could drop many tickets when it comes to the exotics. Race number 6, it's an MR70 handicap over 2,000 meters. 15:35 is the off time, and we've got joint favorites here. Number 1, Lava Lamp, and number 7, Kiss of Fire, both at 7-2, with both 4 kg apprentices riding them. Full go, 6-1, 8-1 about Rosie Lemon, Volta Fuss, Cartagena, That's Magical. Shabella, horse that you've gone for in the past, a 12-1 shot here, and then you can get the Merciful at 12s, and then 20 to 1, and bet about the balance. Alistair, I don't think I'd see this. Two Appies who have got 4 kgs off the back, top in the boards here at 7 to 2.
Sure, again, another very tricky race, but Raheel, I don't think it's quite as complex as the previous race. Lava Lamp's got a lot to do. Carrying that type of weight back from a break, I know that the 4 kilo claim is going to make it lighter. She beat Boys last time, so that's no argument. But I think that this run's going to bring her along, number 1, Lava Lamp. I like what she did over a mile and a half. She beat a weak field over 2,000 meters. Anyway, she's undoubtedly in the race with a chance, but I've left her out. And then number 2, Chappelle, one of my old favorites. How's he fallen off a cliff? Just when you think he's ready to strike, there's money around for him, there's talk around for him, and he just doesn't do the job. Maybe he's the type of horse you do want to include in pick sixes just to try and recover some old scars with number 2, Chappelle. But again, another horse that's been on my radar for a while that I've left out. 3, 5, and 7 is where I'm at here. Raheel, number 3, Rosie Lemon, always gives her best. Serena Woodley takes her out for Bonnie Broncos. Last time out, tried a mile and a half. She can just about reach that distance, but she seems more at home over this type of trip. So she's got to have an undeniable chance. She's also beaten Boys in the past, so I wouldn't read too much into the fillies versus Boys angle. Takes over from JC Boys, as does Sereno. Good, consistent, honest form. This daughter of Ideal World, so she's got to be banging the play. Number 5, Cartagena. Oh, she was winning her that win over Pomazelis at this course over 2,400 meters at the end of the season on the 19th of June under Cabello Mazzaniani. That was some win, but why hasn't she been in the same place? It's easy to say that the handicapper with an £8 penalty may have gripped this daughter of Skid Skizzle, but you can't go from winning doing handstands to all of a sudden having the wind taken out of your sails. On pure collateral form, Lava Lamp should stay in front of her, although the margin should be closed, but I'm willing to give Cartagena a leap of faith here that she'll be more the Cartagena that we saw towards the end of last season rather than the Cartagena that we've seen at the start of this season. So I'm not prepared to leave her out. And then number 7, Kiss of Fire. She's turned her form around, her career around, from looking decidedly average. She's beaten Teo Toriato, who's running in a division 2 times stronger than this. Her last one over Boom Boom on collateral form, as I said, puts her in front of Cartagena. But even if you go further back, the win on the 24th of July finished in front of Full Go, and that's magical by virtue of the apprentice allowance, which is worth its weight in gold. Finished in front of those 2 horses and still retains a very strong turnaround in the weights. And there's even one further back with Kiss of Fire and Cartagena on the 29th of May, where Kiss of Fire has the leveling of the weights over Cartagena. So she's going to go in as my top choice with the 4 kilo claim and potentially round off a hat-trick under Garish Samabergia, who's 2 from 2. So 3, 5, and 7, but in order of preference, 7, 3, and 5 is my numbers in the place accumulator, but do not leave up 1, 2. Even number 11 got to have a pick 6 inclusion.
That is race number 6. A few horses in with winning claims. Moving on to race number 7 next up. Penultimate race on the card. It's an MR76 over the 1,200 meter trip. 10 past 4 is the off time. Palace Prince and Xenophon, joint favourites here at 22 to 10. There's support around Falcon Strike. He's into 4 to 1. Hong Kong has drifted out to 7 to 1, and then you can get 10 to 1 and better about the balance. Palace Prince won a very, very good race last time out when beating Beemanesque. He was subsequently given an 8-point penalty for that, so we'll see how he does with a step up in class. And then the maiden winner, Xenophon, who won with consummate ease last time out. It was a fairy tale ending for Pierce Stradom, and this horse was given a 2-point penalty. Can one of them deliver the goods once again, Alistair, or are you going to tip a horse that you've gone for in the past at 12 to 1 in the market, Biopharma?
No. If this was the inside track, Raheel, I'd tip Biopharma, and I'd tip him confidently, dying for him on the inside track. So not yet, not down the straight. Please, may there be a race for him on the inside track, because we're going to make money. In fact, selfishly, I hope he runs out the money. Number 3, Biopharma Q, he wins doing handstands. Look, Raheel, I have a theory here. I bank at number 2, Palace Prince, and this is why. You know he's got one eye, Palace Prince. And all his runs down the straight have been excellent, and his runs around the turn have been a little bit worse. Not that they're bad, but they've just been a little bit worse. Down the straight on debut at the Vaal, thirds who got the feeling what a run that was. He took off almost out of flight rather than flight, but it was an excellent run. Couldn't miss next start, beating Stone of Schoon again down the straight to turn 15. Then turned up down the Vaal straight, good run out the maidens behind Royal Horizon, just looked like a horse that had more progress to come, fair enough. Then went round the turn, dropped the bundle slightly, back down the straight last time, won like a good thing, beat Beeman Escott, given a very big penalty, might be considered a harsh penalty, but I think down the straight this horse is worth an extra few grains of salt this on a Patala Palace. So big runner, horse to beat for me. In the pick 6, one other horse that I've got, and that's number 6, Xenophon, for obvious reasons. Was a compelling win last time when punted off the boards, made no mistake under Piers Stradham on his last day as a jockey. He could have any amount of improvement to come. He's a quirky character, the son of Vercingetrix. So if he does sort of get himself into a sweat before the race meeting, that might be a bit of a cause for concern. It's forecast to be pretty cool at the Vaal, actually. There's a bit of rain forecast before this race meeting, which will do more good than harm. Coming out the maidens, he could be well handicapped, and expect him to go very well. If he doesn't win, he'll go close. But PA, happy to bank in number 2, Palace Prince. In fact, if you told me, would you bank a Xenophon, I probably would on the other side of the scale. I think that they'll both be in the top 3, and it might be worth taking a little exacta between them.
2 and 6, race number 7. Race number 8, final race on the day. It's an MR66 of the 1100 meter trip. 16:45 is the off time, and your favorite here is number 5, Time for Charity, at 22 to 10 in the market. A model of consistency of late. In the ether at 4 to 1, Western Wishes at 5 to 1, 6 to 1, Captain Efficient, Princess Lola. It's then 10 to 1 and Better Ball. Those has been supported around number 10, Darien Act, from 25 to 1 down 14 to 1. And he's having his second start for Robin Claassen. Final race on the day, Alistair, your thoughts?
I'm a bit diverse in my thoughts here, Raheel. PA, I've gone 4 and 7, funny enough. Princess Lola and Jet Cat. Look, the favourite Time for Charity, hard to knock her. She's got seriously consistent form, got Sereno on board. Serena rode her last time, and she stayed on strongly. In fact, she looked all over a winner over Misty Metal, who just found a little bit extra in the closing stages. But I'm just a little bit dubious about her, because you know her way is to do her best work at the end. Hopefully that rain arrives, and it will give horses an opportunity from near the back of the field to make up ground. But she'll be doing her best work at the end, and I hope she's not running out of real estate, number 5, Time for Charity. Serena's going to have his wits about him on this Daughter of Time Thief, because she can deliver. She's got a great turn of foot. But will she get there in time? That's the $1 million question. I think number 4, Princess Lola, from that last run to Misty Metal on the 6th of September, is certainly weighted to close that deficit. Comes in here off 2 kilo better terms and got 4.5 to turn around. That shouldn't be enough, but I think Princess Lola might have that little bit more speed and might be able to get first run over Time for Charity. That might help swing things around. I wouldn't say it's going to totally swing things around. I think Roy Magnus probably been bemoaning the fact that Princess Lola is still a one-time winner from 19 starts. She started her career, there was a lot of support for her debut at Turfentine, and it took her a while to get up the maidens. It's just taken her a while again, but I think there's still wins there. Musi takes the ride, 4 Princess Lola bang in the race. And then number 7, Jet Cat, the very interesting runner for me. I venture to say that he would have needed his last run, this 10-year-old who Heinrich van der Vesthuizen has been brilliantly with. Good run behind Palace Prince. If Palace Prince rocks up a race early and wins or goes very close, that'll enhance the form. There are bits and pieces of form here, Raheel. I know we're going back a while, but on the 19th of June, Jet Cat over this at this course over slightly further, finished in front of Pile of Millions, and Captain Efficient has them absolutely cold at the weights from that run. And there's another piece of form, 26th of August, not that I think Together Again and Stroke of Mercy are in the race, but finished in front of both of them, and again has a valuable swing at the weights. So that should give number 7, Jet Cat, at least a good chance of running into the top 3, and I can see him sort of troubling the judge. So 4 and 7 are my numbers. No shortage of chances. You'll be crazy to leave number 5, Time for Charity, out your pick 6. Likewise, number 6, Pile of Millions. At 3, Captain Efficient was a horse that I considered. He hated KZN last time. Worth another chance back home.
That is race number 8. 4 and 7, 6 to 1 shot and a 14 to 1 shot in the final race on the day. Could be nice horses to play around, some swingers and exactors. We're going to move along to the suggested bet. Alistair will take us through his place accumulator for the race meeting on Thursday, which begins with the running of race number 2. Alistair, take it away.
Absolutely. 1:15 is when the PA gets underway, Raheel. So a nice tight perm that I've tipped you, 36 Rand perm. 1 and 7 in the first leg. Uber mentioned underdog by Banker 11, sort of light. By Banker, Balera upon number 8 on the card. Then gone 1, 2 and 6. Dylan's Champ, Spy Story and Gamer. By 3, 5 and 7. Rosie Lemon, Cartagena, Kiss of Fire. Banker number 2, Palace Prince down the straight. And then the final leg, bit of a chance, but we're taking the chance anyway. 4 and 7, Princess Lola and Jet Cat.
That is the place accumulator. Alistair, thanks very much for your time. All the best, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Thanks so much, Raheel. Same to you. Same to all the race goers out there, all the racing fans. May it be a good end to the month and a good start into October. We'll chat again for Sunday's racing at Turfentine. See you at Hollywoodbets Durbanville on Saturday. You're all invited if you're in the area. You'll have a lot of fun. The rugby will be broadcast. You won't miss a thing, and there'll be some good racing to go along with it.
Best of luck on Thursday out at the Vaal.